Okie dokie. That sounded gay. Um, so focus list and trade recap from Friday. First of all, I do want to talk about IONQ and Tesla. You know, I said these were sloppy charts, and I have since reformed. Maybe Tesla, I'm still iffy on it, but IONQ was a good setup, and Qualamagi took this. Qualamagi bought this on September 9th. A lot of people bought it on September 11th or the 12th, but um, the GOAT did say the breakout was September 9th, and I agree with him completely. Because I see people buying it on the 11th and the 12th, and it's just like, where's the tightness at this point? Like, you're just buying the base break, which is fine. Some people do that. But this is where it was tight. And where I overlooked this, I thought it was choppy. This is choppy, right? There's no real clean move up. Right here, you have a clean 3-day move up, but then it just fails. Then you have a clean 3-day move up, and then it fails. And then right here, you get a clean 5-day move up. See how clean this is? And then it flags. This was a clean flag, and I somehow overlooked it. You know, a clean 25% move up, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. You know, just a nice linear clean move, and then just like any other setup, it forms lower highs, some higher lows. And what I didn't see and I overlooked, it had an inside week. So you have that clean linear move up, you have an inside week. That's your sign to buy that thing. And you know, I did completely overlook that. It is what it is now, but this was a good setup. This was a clean setup. Maybe even 5 stars. I'd say 4-star. But a very clean setup, and it is working beautifully. So I just had to revise my statements, review why this was a good chart, and this does meet criteria for a good chart. So I was gonna do. I can't remember what I was just about to do, but anyways, we'll go over Tesla. Tesla, you don't really have that clean linear move up like IONQ did, but you have a big base break you could have bought. This one, like if you're waiting for the first flag, I think it's still fine. But this was buyable on the big base breakout. But again, like this one isn't, it's not as clean as IONQ. But oh yeah, so IONQ. So it's kind of a similar setup to Hood and PLTR back when they went. You get this clean linear move up, reclaiming moving averages, pulls back, clean little move up right here. All right, just a little 30% in 5-6 days, clean move up, and then it flags, and then it higher lows, lower highs, and then gaps up out of the range, and you get a monster trade. PLTR was the same story, a clean little linear move up, pull back, move up, and then pull back into these 10 and 20, higher lows, lower highs, just a nice clean linear move up, and then bam, gaps out of the base. And then, you know, you go back to IONQ. IONQ is cleaner than both of these. Again, nice, very nice move up, higher lows, lower highs, and then just goes out of the base. So yeah, it was a good setup. Positions, so I did, well, first of all, so RSP inside day, IWM inside day, so nothing wrong with the indexes. QQQ going to new all-time highs. Normal action. Reddit, so I still am in Reddit. This came back on me a little bit. My stop's break even, so I don't really care what it does. But it does look like if it's gonna come back and stop me out, I'm just fucking done with this thing. I mean, seriously, I've tried this so many times, and the one time I get it, it's gonna come back into the range. It's like, bro, fuck that thing. It did try to come back through the previous highs, and then, but it did wick and find some support there. So let's see if it can get. It is declining volume, so if it can, get back above 267, it can make it move to 300. But if it's going to take out today's lows, it's probably just going to stop out and yeah. Put my stop just a little bit above. All right. So Reddit still in, Cypher still in, full position for both of those. About 2,700 on this, and this is exactly what I want. This is like the definition of a good breakout. Clean linear move up. This move up was, fucking 86%, and then just pulls back to the rising 10 inside candle, and then you gap above the range. Opening range break works perfectly, and then you just get a clean move up. Very, very clean. Very, very clean. This is like the setup I'm trying to trade and just focus on this. And it's acting good. Hopefully we just see continued momentum. Like, it is extended, but like extended stocks get more extended. Most people would be taking trims, and it's not a bad idea to take a trim today. But I try to hold my winners and get a really big move. Like, I would love if this thing went to $15, $16. Now that's pretty ambitious. Maybe realistically $12, $13 is a better target. But I'm not going to sell any yet. I just don't think it's doing anything wrong. The hourly 10, it fell below, then immediately reclaimed, and it's just continuing to push higher. I'm not going to sell a stock when it's above a rising hourly 10. There's just no need for it. So I am going to keep this for now. Maybe something to note, it does respect-ish the 20. So, yeah. So still have my full position there. Wolf, I still have my full position. This is kind of flagging at highs. Ideally, you want to see a break of 1122, and then you could see continued momentum to the upside. This looks like it's just forming a hourly flag. Very tight. This is actually buyable, to be honest. My ETH is fucking tanking right now. That's great. Anyways, sorry. So this hourly looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. This is really tight. Nice setup. Linear move up. Higher lows, lower highs. Super clean. Maybe could add to this. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna put it on my focus list because it looks good. And if it's gonna make a move, it's gonna make it right here. It's either gonna fall back in the range or it's gonna break out and go higher. So this is actually a good spot. Still have my full position, $825, and I'm actually willing to add to this if it's gonna allow me to do that. Yeah, this looks good. Iron, still have my full position. Here too, again, linear move up, pull back to the 10. All the data centers have the same setup. Up 1,200 on this one. Push to new highs Friday, and it's just dying out in volume. So, hopefully we continue to see momentum to the upside. I don't really know how much higher this is going to go because this is very extended at this point. It is at all-time highs, so like, was this flag at all-time highs? Wow, it was, yeah. Breakout to all-time high flag. So it did break out of an all-time high flag, but like, it is extended. Extended stocks get more extended, so I don't really know where this is going to go. I'm going to hold it for as long as I can and I want to. It's just trailing this 10 on the hourly, so it's not doing anything wrong yet. Price is kind of consolidating an ascending wedge, but if it continues to go higher, I'm just going to let it not touch it. Falls back down, I'll start trimming. AHR, still in my full position. I'm just showing the 10 on this. There's nothing special about this. My average isn't correct. I have it from like this sell stop as my real average, but yeah, this isn't. I mean, just as long as it stays above the 10, I'm gonna hold it. ONDS, I bought this September 11th out of this breakout, and then it pushed to new highs Friday, and we'll see if this can have established continued momentum as well. This is also kind of extended. I wanted a little bit more tightness. This thing just does not want to offer tightness at all for a good entry. My stop was like 10% on this, which is pretty wide, very wide for me. If it has continued momentum, then great. If it doesn't, then I will just cut it and wait for like a better setup, more sideways, something like that. ETH, so I did buy this out of this nice clean breakout. My average doesn't really feel that comfortable. Lower highs, higher lows, just textbook setup, inside candle, then gaps above. I didn't buy this on the 1 minute opening range break. I did decide to wait for the 5 minute. I was looking at the time, Ethereum had this hourly setup, so I was waiting for it to push out like this. Once it took out this hourly setup high, that's when I bought the 5 minute opening range break, and never got stopped out. Here's what it looked like on ETH on the 5 minute. So, and I was more confident because like during the open we undercut the pre-market lows, so I was like, okay, if like this low should hold, if it takes out the 5 minute opening range higher, then at this point the low should hold because it undercut the pre-market low, so that's a significant low at that point. And took out the 5 minute high, came, retested it, and then just went. And my stop is at that opening range break even, because I'm not going to risk this coming back down. Like, I have a really good profit right now. It's like $1,000 and I risked 250. I'm not fucking letting that. That's 4R. I'm not letting that come back and fucking stop me off a break even. Although it is highly possible. I think this is what my average corresponds to on the actual Ethereum chart, like somewhere around 45, 30, 45, 40. As you can see, it's coming down right now to this 50, which is not far from my average. So we'll see how it holds up. I'm not confident that this buy sticks. Again, if you look on the daily, it'd be completely normal to retest this level. So it is it is what it is. If it does stop me out, I'm not going to take a loss on the trade though, at all. I'm just not going to do that. And I assume if it is going to come down and retest this, then it's also going to set up again, and I'll just get another shot at it. So that's kind of the idea with that. And then VSAT, I took an anticipation buy Friday, and I'll get to this on the focus list, but it's just an inside candle, and then I bought once I saw this, once I saw the wick off the 200 and we took out the highs, I bought it on the next candle. And then yeah, it was just an anticipation buy. Like, it was off the 1 minute, but I just bought off the daily because inside candle, higher lows, lower highs. This looks textbook. This is actually a really good chart. Had a linear move right here. Came back in, retested these previous highs, but now it's just based on top of that. So it looks completely normal. Let's get into the focus list. That was a pretty long segment for a fucking positions, so my bad. Oh wait, let me get into you. Sorry, this is gonna be a long video. It doesn't matter, whatever. Linear move up, but I ended up selling my stock like just above break even. It's just coming back into the range at this point, so I'll rebuy the breakout when it sets back up. This thing's kind of been an asshole to get into. Like, it worked right here, but then again, only for a couple days, came back into the range. But now, if it sets up again and then breaks out higher, I'd expect that to be the real move, and I'll try to size into that. But it needs more time for now. Focus list, VSAT, self-explanatory, super linear stock. Nice move here, sideways, nice move here, sideways, nice move here, sideways. And who's to say it doesn't make another nice move again, maybe to 40. Lower highs, higher lows, tight on the 20. 4% change day, the volume is starting to die out. The green volume is bigger than all of the red volume. You go to the weekly, it's the same story. You have you have accumulation here, and it's basically went sideways for like 3 weeks. The monthly looks bullish as fuck. There's no reason this thing couldn't go to even 50 maybe, and bounce off of this resistance, and this 200 would be plausible. Yeah. So top watch. And then I also have run this one. I think it might be choppy. It only had 2 days of momentum. I tried to buy it 11th, September 11th, and it made a really nice move and then came all the way back and round tripped in a couple of hours. But then it had an inside day and it's dying out on volume. This is probably my final chance. As long as it holds its higher lows, I'm willing to try it because it made a nice move right here. Yeah, it made a 22% move in 4 days. And it's holding higher lows, and it's getting tight on the 10 and the 20, so it's not doing anything wrong. But also, it only had 2 days of momentum. Not the most linear chart, but like I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. It's a 980R with $150 million volume. It had an inside week. The 200 week is right here. And usually you see big up moves or down moves when you get to this 200 week moving average. Like you see once it cracks below 200, huge down week, and then even further downside. And then, yeah, I mean, you get the gist. So I'm willing to give it a shot. Again, I think I wouldn't risk much, maybe 0.5%, but it looks decent. I think it looks pretty good. Sound, I think this actually looks pretty good. I might use SOUX as my vehicle when I'm looking at this chart. Now this kind of gives me that IONQ vibes where you had a layer move up and I was watching it and then it just came back into this fucking chop. But here you had a nice 3-day move. Like this was a clean 3-day move and now it's pulling back. The 10 and the 20 are aligned. It's getting tight on the 10. Inside candle, volume's dying out. I can't hate, and like look at the volume in this. The volume right here was good too. I don't hate the setup. It's got a much bigger range. This is like again like an IONQ type setup, and I like this move right here. If you go to the SOUX, it looks even better. It was a 50% move in 3 days, and then now it's getting tight and just dying out. Like that looks pretty good. So I would give this a shot, 0.5% risk, something like that. XNet, this is like a 5-star setup, but it's so illiquid. So I have it on here just in case. I'll put it in secondary because I would rather trade probably these 4 over XNet. But the setup is really very, very nice. Huge 3-day move and sideways, getting tight on the 10. 20's catching up. Just a very nice, clean setup. Lower highs, higher lows. Beautiful. Inside candle, volume's dead. This looks really good. So I'm gonna have it up here, but Gemini, I don't want to trade this, but it looks like a ton of people got bagged. So I'm just watching this for IPO. I'm actually just gonna take this off. OPAD, this looks pretty good, but it had a 13% change day, which is against my rules to trade something like this. Because just typically when you see a wide range day like this, it just never really works because it's too loose. However, chart-wise, it looks really good. So I'm going to put it on my secondary and watch it, but it is against my rules to trade this. Now, would I break my rules? Maybe I would consider it, but it is against my rules to trade this, so important to note. That's all I got. PBF, I don't No, this is not set up. And then Wolf, I guess, yeah, Wolf. So Wolf hourly setup, tight, data center theme, so it's in a strong theme. It's not that extended. The 1020 is right here. It just broke out. It, it made a nice move up, but it's just now consolidated. A little 3-day consolidation. Um, Tight with a nice hourly setup. Hot theme. Like if this wants to go, this thing's barely started its move. It can go to 13, 14. So I'd be willing to add to it if I have the buying power for it. I'd say probably my top focuses though are VSAT Sound Run, and then if I have buying power, Wolf, then XNet, and then OPAD. That's all I got. Really, I need a bounce in Ethereum. Fuck this chart, bro. I hate the stock market. I always lose my money, bro. It's cringe. Um, I'm just kidding, but yeah. I guess if this goes back down to break even, then I'll. This is my biggest position. I was because my stop was so tight on this. Like the 5 minute opening range break was like no fucking. It was like no fucking risk, bro. That 1% stop on the fucking a 1% stop on a 980R. I'm taking that trade 100 out of 100 times because the one time that trade sticks, the risk to reward on that trade is ridiculously high, like stupid high. So yeah, I had to take that trade. My stop's break even, so it doesn't matter what it does. I'm risking open profits, which is a solid amount, which is kind of annoying. But like, I'm trying to play this for a bigger move. You know, it is a nice setup. I hope it just keeps going, but that might not happen. It might just reset up, and it is what it is. I'll just rebuy it on the next breakout, but a little annoying. Just a little annoying. But all right, that's all I got.